Ooh, you know what? I should probably do my Duolingo before I start this. Howdy! This video is in response to that video. When you haven't seen that video, then this video won't make any sense. So just go watch the video, okay? Okay, hello. Where do I even begin? Thank you guys so much for the warm welcome back as usual, and thank you for being so receptive to this new kind of, I don't want to say chapter in the channel's life, but you know, this new sort of venture, let's just say. And I do want to preface this by just letting you know, I did actually record that video about 2 months ago, and since then, I'm now 3 years into my Stardew save file, and the farm looks just a little different, so you know what? We're gonna talk about it. Welcome to my house. I have a child now. Welcome to my farm. I have a baby and a husband. Hello, my darling. It's so nice to see you. I did marry Alex. Don't come for me. Do I hate women a little bit? Maybe, at my core. But it turns out he's actually not a bad husband, so it's fine. See, look, he's fixing things around the house. What a good husband. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, the house looks a little different. I have an army of jars just preserving things. In my attic, of course, I have the basement with all the casks. Working hard. We're not even gonna discuss this horrible catastrophe of a room that my husband has brought upon the place. We're not gonna acknowledge it. You know what? We're just not gonna talk about it. Fighting my child. Come here, little Timmy. So yeah, I just wanted to make a little bit of a follow-up video on the last topic that we discussed in the series, the discussion series, which I don't have a name for yet. I'm leaning towards life through gaming, but if you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to let me know. I guess you guys could consider this almost like another comment time. If you remember, ooh, brain blast, I'm about to bring you back in time. You remember the comment time videos? Well, it's comment time, it's comment time. Won't you read these comments of mine? Ooh. Somebody outside didn't like that. Somebody's mad at me for doing that. All right, this is a little excessive. So yeah, no, I apologize if I caused a little PTSD with that song outbreak there. Yeah, if you guys remember the comment times, or if you are new and you don't know the comment times, that was a long time ago, back when I was making content more consistently. I was uploading videos where I responded to comments, and you know what? Technically this is that, so you can consider this maybe comment time number 5. The longest anyone has ever had to wait for a comment time. So yeah, I just wanted to respond to the comments on my last video about you guys' experience with starting over. There was actually quite a few people who related to it, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much to everyone for your comments. And the very first one that I got was actually a response. It was in a thread, but it was a response from Wicked Wrench 229, which says, going off what you were asking at the end of the vid about what we tried, for me, it's dating. It feels vastly more difficult doing it as an unmasked autistic/ADHD person than it was when I was undiagnosed in my 20s. I've tried a vast number of times and it either ends up being a nightmare or I seem to only attract energy vampires. So I'm giving it a very wide berth while I work on getting the confidence and easy charm I have when booze buzzed into sober me. Because Booze Buzz Me has so much riz, I wish I was her all the time. And then I might try again. Or I might plow that energy into finding more friends, because I have hardly any that live near me. First of all, I just want to say, and I already responded to the comment with this, but I totally understand what you mean when you say that buzzed you has so much more riz, because oh my god, when I am buzzed, I turn into a completely different person. I am so confident, I'm so funny, I'm relaxed, I'm having a good time, I'm not worrying about what other people think about me. But it's nice that you know, have that experience at least where, like, you know that you could have the potential to be more confident and, you know, somebody who just puts themselves out there. Actually, I had like a plan for this, I thought, and then I decided that I hated it. So I'm right now, I'm actually gonna fix this while we're chatting. Also, kudos to you for unmasking, because I know that that's something that a lot of autistic or ADHD people do have a big problem with, is like showing their true face. I know a lot of people who are neurodivergent are very, very like careful about how they display themselves and how they show themselves to the world. And so their personality, or their mask really is very meticulously created, like specifically for each situation that you're with people. So yeah, kudos to you for going out to the dating world as someone who's not putting on that facade anymore. That's huge, and you know, good work. By the way, I cannot take any credit for this little slime hutch layout here. This was, I think, stolen from Reddit. Thank you to the person on Reddit. Appreciate it. Now I'm about to get annihilated. My slimes. Come on, boys. Get in here. Don't be making babies in front of me. This is a family-friendly video, okay? But yeah, I can imagine that in a dating scene, it's really hard to find people who are like on the same boat with you, basically, unless they are all also somewhere on the neurodivergent spectrum. And even then, you know, it is a spectrum. There's such a huge difference between like one side to the other. And like people of all walks of life can be on the spectrum and they can have vastly different experiences. So I imagine that's a little difficult to find somebody who you really gel with and somebody who, you know, appreciates you for who you actually are, not for a mask that you put on. But yeah, I hope that when you do eventually decide to try again with dating, that it goes a lot better for you. It's a lot easier said than done to be like, I'm just gonna be confident. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna own the room, because at the end of the day, you have to really work on yourself and you have to really build that up to make it happen. There's only so much tricking yourself into being confident that you can do. At some point, you have to deep down really feel it. So I wish you all the best of luck in your dating journey and your self-confidence journey. I hope it goes well for you. Oh yeah, I actually forgot. I need to move all my bunnies because they're in here right now and I need to move them to the other one. But the problem is, I'm pretty sure I don't have a heater right now. Yeah, I don't have a heater in here, which is kind of imperative so that my bunnies don't freeze to death. So yeah, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Gonna be honest with you guys, I have been completely neglecting this little area of the farm, so it's kind of a mess. Not gonna lie. The past like 10 days I've just been at Ginger Island because I'm sick of the winter. So yeah, that's my farm right now. It's not that exciting, and my Ginger Island farm is actually even worse. But yeah, certainly better than it was in the last video. I think I'm allowed to say that much. Okay, day 21. I'm actually excited for winter to be over, to be honest. One of the reasons why I haven't come back to Stardew in a little bit is just because I hate the winter. I do. There's nothing to do. Oh, I just totally bypassed my child and he didn't even acknowledge them. Going to town today, that's great. I am also leaving for the day. Our child will be parentless. Our child will have to fend for himself. Who is giving me trash? Which one of my fish just gave me garbage? Where am I going? This way. Marnie. Ugh, Marnie, you're the worst. All right, I guess while we wait for Marnie, I can respond to another comment. So the second comment comes from Mirror Reflection and says, the timing of this is kind of perfect for me. I turned 30 in a few days, living paycheck to paycheck, stressed out of my mind at work, and my job just got turned upside down for the third year in a row due to big management changes. So I definitely relate to the feeling of having to kind of start over for reasons outside your control. I'm very thankful that at least I still have a job with decent pay and my apartment is rent control protected, but the cost of living is just so high now, I feel like I'm so behind where I should be. Love the idea of just a chill life chat over gameplay. Looking forward to following the series. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. When it comes to job stuff, starting over is just so intimidating. Yeah, I have had to start over in jobs a few times. Should I? No, I was gonna sell her my duck feather. I'll just give you want a duck feather, Marnie? Here you go, lady. Enjoy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move my buns. But yeah, when it comes to job stuff, oof, I do not envy you at all. Especially the fact that it's 3 years in a row you've had big changes. Oof. When it comes to job stuff, it's just like, it takes over your life, you know? There's no way to have turmoil at your job and not feel like you have turmoil in your life overall. And it's really tough to make any sort of changes when it comes to that, so totally feel you. But hey, the 30 Club, it's actually not that bad. Welcome to being 30. It's scary, but you're gonna love it. Trust me. You're gonna be like, wow, this is so refreshing. I don't have to worry about what anyone thinks anymore. And also, congrats to you on having a rent-controlled apartment, because that is huge. But yeah, it sucks kind of having to be forced to start over. Just realizing like, oh, this actually isn't working, and I'm really, really stressed. And like, if I don't do something about it, things are gonna go badly. So like, you're kind of pushed in the position where you have to. Sadly, life kind of just throws us things like that sometimes, and we sort of just have to adapt to it, unfortunately, and it's tough. So my condolences, and I hope that things get better at work, or maybe you find something that works out better for you. So I was actually gonna go to Ginger Island, but now I'm kind of committed to to doing just regular farm stuff. You know, the usual, checking on everybody, making sure everybody's happy. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. This is the trap that I get stuck in. I'm like, I'll go to Ginger Island, but then I have to just totally neglect all my animals, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Well, yes, I do have 3 fridges in my kitchen. Thank you so much for noticing. Okay, so the next comment is from Grant M2581, who says, first off, so good to see new content again. Your channel has always been a source of fun / wholesome / comfort content for me. Happy to have you back. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I could be a source of any sort of feeling besides disdain and anger. Second, I am vibing with this format and I'm interested in seeing where this goes for future discussion topics. However many hours of editing / production went into this video is well worth it, at least from my perspective. So actually, funnily enough, this first video, it did take me a while because I was trying to figure out exactly the style that I wanted. But the rest of them so far, because I've actually backlogged 3 other videos. So far, they've actually not been difficult to edit at all, and they're kind of a breeze, to be honest. Except for, I will say, matching the titles and like dialogue boxes and everything to the game has been quite an adventure because every game is unique, and it's really tested my editing and Photoshop abilities, let me just say. But I'm having a good time with it, so I'm glad that it is paying off, in your opinion. And third, I haven't gone to start over yet, but I've been contemplating a career change in my future. I agree that that kind of a transition is really scary, but it's also fun to lean into the idea of how exciting a fresh start can be. Still probably a few years off, and it won't happen without some degree of preparation beforehand, but the shared perspective on big changes is appreciated. Here's to more EmSArcade, grateful for your continued presence on YouTube. Thank you, I hope that I will also continue to be on YouTube. Yeah, so like I said with the last one, obviously job changes, super scary, but it's nice that you have the control over it, that it's not like things are going wrong in your job and you have to make a change. It's like, oh, things are going well, but I would like to maybe consider trying something new, which is really cool and actually very admirable, I will say. It's not easy to decide to completely change what you're doing, especially if it's something that maybe you feel like you don't have as much experience in, or maybe you're not sure how your skill set will transfer. Actually, my boyfriend, unfortunately, was just recently laid off because the company pretty much like made him redundant. And he's also had to contemplate having a whole new career change. So, but luckily he's in a position where it's not necessary for him to change. It's like, if he wants to, he can. And I think that's a really unique and very privileged position to be in. And also just really opportunistic. You have all these possibilities of like where you could go in life. And it's really cool to think of like, oh, things could totally, in like 2 years from now, you could be in a totally different like career path, totally different, basically just like chapter of your life. I don't know, starting over doesn't always have to be scary. And you're right, it can be very exciting sometimes. So I wish you all the best when you do decide to change your career, and I hope that it works out for you. And actually on the topic of career changes, if you are considering a career change, I actually am going to be recording a video regarding what to do when you hate your job. That's going to be upcoming, but that won't be for a little bit. That'll be the 5th video in the series, so stay tuned for that one. It'll be a little bit from now, but hopefully once it does come out, it'll provide some insight on the possibility of changing careers, because as someone who never held down a proper career path until just recently, I feel like I have quite a bit of experience in changing jobs. So yeah, hopefully that's something that you guys will look forward to watching when it does come out. I haven't actually recorded it yet, so stay tuned. By the way, if anyone tells me that I'm not doing this correctly or like there's a better layout for me or whatever, I will kick you in the face. I don't care. I don't care. I'm happy with what I got. It works. Shut up. And I say that with all the love and respect in my heart. I just don't care. All right, let's go to Ginger Island, baby. Oh, when is the Feast of the Winter Star? Because I don't really want to go to it, but also I feel like I should. You know, as is tradition. I've done it every other year, and now I have like a husband and a baby, so I should probably go, I guess. Actually, snowy day is the perfect day to go to Ginger Island because screw that. I do not want to deal with the snow. Thank you very much. I will be off now. Goodbye, family. Yay! Oh, it's so much nicer here. Hello, I don't have that. I have one single walnut. Thank you very much. Ah, crap. I don't think I brought... Wait, do I have seeds? Hold on. I didn't bring anything that I probably should have. Like, seeds. Do I have seeds? I don't. Oopsie. I guess I could plant my 5 seeds. I'm gonna have a really big farm, guys. 5 whole pineapples. Don't go too crazy with it. I also forgot to bring sprinklers. 5 whole pineapples. Wowie. Wowie wow. What an abundant farm I have. Truly incredible. The next comment comes from Ace Defective, who says, I'm about at the point in my life where something like the topic you're discussing is something that really does kind of resonate with me. Now being in my mid-20s and wondering what I'm even doing with my life now. Not related to content creation, obviously, but either way, I don't know, I'm lost, honestly. And it is a little comforting hearing all this. Even though I got to watching this a few days late, it was really nice watching this video. It's nice to see you around again. I hope things work out all right. Thank you. They're working out so far. I mean, I didn't really have a goal with this series except just to discuss stuff with you guys and like, I don't know, just be like engaged and have conversations. So, and this proves that we are already doing that. So, you know, in my brain, I have succeeded. Gosh, what was I doing in my mid-20s? Where was I in life? Let me think about this for a second. So I'm 31 now. I just turned 31 July 5th of this year. And my mid-20s, I was in Boston. I think I had just moved to Boston with about $500 in my bank account and a dream. That was it. And I also, you know, was kind of at a point where I didn't really know what I was doing with my life either. I feel like that's a rite of passage when you're like mid-20s, when you're 24, 25, 26. It's just to not know what you're doing. So don't feel bad that you don't know. You don't exactly know what you're doing and feeling like maybe you do need to try new things or like start all over again or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I've been there. I think all of us have been there, to be honest. Mid-20s is really like all about finding yourself. Just honestly, your whole 20s is about finding yourself, but I feel like mid-20s is really when it starts to kick in. You know, the frontal lobe is fully developed and you're like, oh, I'm using all of my brain now. But that also comes with a good healthy dose of existentialism when your whole brain is developed. So yeah, when I was mid-20s, I had just moved to Boston. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in relation to, did I want to continue with the clients that I had for video editing, or did I want to branch out? I was also at a point where I was not really able to make content anymore. I think that was the first time when I moved back to Boston, was when I wasn't able to stream anymore, and that had been my only source of content creation for a little bit. Purple starfish. Okay, we're gonna do some counting. So it was a little bit of a starting over point for me, definitely. I had to kind of find new ways to occupy my time, and I had to sort of put creation on the back burner and, you know, prioritize other things like getting a part-time job so that I could, you know, afford to live and things like that. So yeah, definitely a more tumultuous time in my life was my mid-20s. It was also a time in my life where I was leaving behind things that I didn't necessarily want to leave behind. And I was having to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't friends with some of the people that I was friends with, that I thought I was at least. So that actually, I will be mentioning that in the upcoming video, the very next one that's coming out this weekend. I'll give you a little clue as to what, at the end of this video, I'll give you guys a little clue as to what it is. I'll see if you can guess. And if you can guess, maybe you get something special. We shall see. Okay, I believe there is 18 of them. Yeah, baby. I guess I'll do some fishing. I don't know. So the next comment comes from Wolfie244169, who says, I know exactly what it's like to start over. I was in a very bad place professionally for the past few years. Part of that is because I was fixated on doing things my own way, not the way people wanted. And as a result, I never got my dream job, so I branched out, started over, went back to school for a bit, and eventually found another job. It suits me, but honestly, that's about it. But it will also help me and serve as a platform to try again, to get my dream job later and somewhere else than where I initially tried. I haven't lost hope, but I did need to actually understand that I had to stop bashing my head on a wall that was never going to crack because I have a way to do things that these people don't. And when those people are the recruiters, well, I'm currently in the process of starting over my professional life, and even if it is a job I only partially like, it feels good to be trusted to do a job, to feel like I'm doing good. It gives me back the confidence I had lost, that I'm worthy of my dream job and that I can get it one day. So just like you, Emily, I'll start again, but outside of the context/rules I used to be in. Sorry for the novel, super happy you're back. Tons of encouragement and love from France. Bye. Well, as someone who is learning French, if you couldn't tell from the start of this video, merci. I don't actually know that much French. Je suis contente, I guess. I don't know. I'm happy with your comment, thank you. Whoa, what the heck kind of fish is this? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, it's you. Honestly, it is so hard to, like, finally accept, like, oh, this thing isn't working for me, and to pivot. That's huge. To be honest, like deciding, you know what, I'm going to be open to other opportunities and other life paths, and I'm going to see where those take me. That is really difficult to accept, to be honest, because, you know, all of us have goals and dreams and aspirations and things that we want to do. And when we see the way forward and we just can't get there, it can be really frustrating. And we think, well, you know, that's the way that it has to be. I just have to keep trying. When actually there's other avenues that maybe you just haven't explored yet. So kudos to you for trying to find like another avenue that will eventually lead you to your dream job. It's nice that you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses and you know what works and what doesn't, and have now found something that actually like works to your benefit. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I hope this is exciting enough content for you guys. Really riveting gameplay. But yeah, it's really tough to, like you said, to just stop beating your head against that wall, hoping that it'll give way, when in reality, you know, your head's too small. It's never gonna crack it, all right? All you're gonna do is hurt yourself, if that makes sense as a metaphor. Sometimes the way forward is just barricaded and it's just unobtainable, and you have to regroup and look at other ways around it, you know? Just because there's a big wall there doesn't mean that there's not maybe like an opening in the wall that you just couldn't see from your previous perspective. And even if you don't achieve necessarily exactly what you thought that you wanted, maybe you'll find something that's even better, more suited to you. And maybe that will become your new dream or your new aspiration. Yeah, it's actually a very inspiring comment. I really like this comment. And I'm glad that you understand your worth and you know that just because you're on a different path, it doesn't mean that you're not valuable, that you're not like worthy of achieving your goals. It just means that you're trying a different route, and that's okay. And I hope you do reach your goals, and I hope you do get everything that you want. So lots of encouragement right back at you. You know what I'm realizing, actually? With me here at Ginger Island, is having to start over on this new little farm. It really does fit into the theme, doesn't it? I have my 5 crops here. I have no mailbox. Ooh, but I can have one right now, actually. Yay! Now I can stay here and hide from my family. I never have to go home ever again. Now I can go to sleep in my nice, comfy bed all by myself. No husband in sight. The next comment comes from the one and only, oh my god, Jenny Twigs. The Jenny Twigs commented on my video. Did you guys see? She has a viral hit video, her first ever video. Her video is at 93K. If you don't go watch it, I will find you. But anyways, the next comment comes from my friend, Jenny, who says, "This is such an incredibly insightful and honestly inspiring video. In my own life in regards to content creation and general life things, I kept getting caught up in what I thought I should be doing, streaming and gaming or following trending art challenges, rather than what I wanted. I think it was hard for me to know what I wanted to make or how I wanted to be until I thought about what things I wanted to watch or who I would want to be around and use that to direct me. So far, it's been working out. Excited to see your new journey." Thank you, Jenny. And thank you for, Jenny has been very supportive in the background, hyping me up in making this new series. So thank you, Jenny. I appreciate you commenting. Also, I may or may not have mentioned you in the next upcoming video that is coming this Saturday. So if you want to see me gush about my friend Jenny, you should go watch it. I sort of struggled with the same thing where I like saw what trends were happening and everything, and I was like, I guess this is what I should be doing. Just the format, you know, the retention editing format. I was specifically told, like, don't have an intro longer than 30 seconds, but the intro is like the fun part for me. You know? Like, I get it that you're supposed to, like, hook the person in, but I would always do little goofy, like, intro skits just for fun, and I was told, like, no, you gotta nix those, you gotta axe those, you cannot have, like, fun little intro skits because people don't care. You have to get right into the meat of the video, otherwise just people will click off, they don't care. But, like, that's the fun part for me, is like, making goofy little intros. And it always has been, to be honest. So yeah, that was one of those things where it's like, when it came to coming back to content creation, I was struggling with the feeling of like, I have to make people want to watch this versus I just want to make what I want to make, you know? And maybe that's to my detriment, you know? I made a couple videos that I thought were like a lot of fun, but ultimately flopped. But at the same time, it's like, well, I enjoyed making it, right? So does it matter? Does it matter that it flopped? But yeah, ultimately what I end up making is always what I enjoy seeing, what I enjoy watching, and what I just enjoy creating. And I make stuff that I would be excited to watch. Like if there was another content creator out there that was making like what I'm making, I would be excited to watch it. That's why I make what I do, you know? And maybe that's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's okay. I'm sure there's like-minded people out there who also enjoy what I enjoy. So there's been a lot of different, let's say, metamorphosis moments on the channel where I have gone into my little cocoon and then I've come out again, and then I've gone back into my little cocoon again, and then I come out again, over and over and over again. You'd think at some point I would come out as a butterfly, but no, I just keep coming out as this damn caterpillar. But hey, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who like caterpillars, and there's nothing wrong with that being the outcome of trying again. But it would be nice to have a little butterfly moment at some point. I almost feel like since this is a starting over point, maybe I am hoping for my butterfly moment. I don't know. You made me think, Jenny. You've made me think. Right before bed, it's 12:30 in the morning, and I'm like, yeah, this comment really got me. But yeah, also in terms of figuring out who you want to be around. Yes, 100% yes. I feel like I can go into that in probably another video. But yeah, learning like who your true friends are and like figuring out the types of people that you do want to surround yourself with is definitely a whole other can of worms, for sure. I think I might actually touch on that a little bit in the next video as well. So there you go, more promo for my next video. Watch the damn video, okay? I worked hard on it, but I'm glad it's working out for you, Jenny. Thank you again for your comment. I'm sorry to my chicken. I didn't mean to smack him. The next comment comes from Riley C9638, who says, this whole video is so relatable to me. Not just the constant, what about this? Maybe overthinking a little bit kind of thoughts, but honestly, I struggle with art for similar reasons. I started again and again, and to give myself credit, I was also going through a lot in my life that repeatedly killed my spirit and motivation, and kind of just hoped something different would happen. It's hard, but I also have to ask myself if I'm even wrong. I might have the right idea, but be doing it at the wrong time. My brain's probably trying to look out for me so I don't experience more of that heartache of things not going the way I wanted them to. The constant wondering if I'm doing things right, what I'm doing wrong, and it's easy to miss that I'm gaining experience either way, and I'm living my life. Those are things that are going to happen anyway, so it's best that I'm just able to enjoy it. This is also a time that I'm kind of starting over / again, and this was a really inspiring video for me. Always love seeing you post. I hope you enjoyed making this video. I also loved the Stardew goofery. I've also had a huge issue in the past with, things just killing my motivation. For a while there, when I was like trying to see remnants of the success that I had once seen uploading videos, it was definitely the numbers were the biggest motivation killer for me. That was most of the reason why I would come back and try the same thing and expect a different outcome, and then it wouldn't happen, and then I would get demotivated because the numbers wouldn't be the same as, oh, when I was doing this thing before, like, why are the numbers not the same? And I did touch on this in the video, but yeah, that was definitely the biggest spirit killer for me. It was just YouTube being YouTube, you know, YouTube marching on with time, and me, you know, not adapting to the new normal of YouTube. So yes, motivation is definitely huge when it comes to starting over and trying something totally new or thinking outside the box. It's crucial, pretty much. Like, you have to be inspired and you have to be motivated. If you're not that, then you just will stagnate, you know? Also, I totally relate to saying, might have the right idea, but be doing it at the wrong time. Because yeah, I think that exactly encapsulates what I was doing before with trying to do specific types of videos at a certain time when they no longer suited that time, you know? I have actually thought, oh, maybe the universe is just looking out for me, you know, maybe if I did see the success that I once saw on these videos, maybe I would get locked into something that I wouldn't enjoy. You know, maybe I would feel too much pressure to succeed if I was, you know, seeing the kind of success that I thought that I wanted. So yeah, could be your brain looking out for you, could be the mysterious ways of the universe. But either way, yeah, I completely relate to that. And yes, the constant wondering if I'm doing things wrong. Oh man, yeah. Hit the nail on the head with that one. Yeah, constantly thinking, oh, I must be doing something really wrong here because it's not working out. What am I doing? But at the same time, thinking that I was doing things right. So it was very confusing. It was like, I think I'm doing like what I enjoy, and I think I'm doing what people liked to see before, so why is it not the same? It's because people, yeah, maybe people liked it at one time, but time marches on, you know? Things have changed. But you're right. That it's no matter what, you're still gaining experience from it. No matter if you try and succeed or you try and maybe not fail, but you don't get the outcome that you expected. Regardless, you're still creating experiences for yourself. You're still learning along the way. You're still making new, you know, connections in your brain. You're figuring things out as you go. And it's still worth it to try things, even if they don't always end up the way that you maybe thought that they would, or that you maybe hoped that they would. At the end of the day, you still gave it a go, and maybe you'll get different outcomes from it that will end up really benefiting you down the line. Like, for instance, I have some good friends now who, if I had never inserted myself into the YouTube scene, I wouldn't have those friends. So even though I haven't been doing it as consistently, those people are still in my life, and I'm still grateful to have them. So I'm glad that the video resonated with you, and I hope whatever you're trying to start over with, it goes as well as it possibly can for you. Okay, this is the last comment of it's comment time, or whatever the heck. I don't know what I'm calling this. Yeah, what the heck should I call this? Cozy comment time. Where before it was chaotic comment time. This one's cozy comment time. You know, the kind of comment time where you grab a blanket, you brew yourself a cup of tea, and you just relax, man. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more day on Ginger Island, and I'm gonna do this last comment while I do it. What are you doing out here in the snow, dude? I got my husband, thank you. Oh, I don't have a gift. Can I just give him a fish? Will he be happy with a fish? He likes sea cucumbers. There you go, bud. Saving this one for Willie. So this last comment comes from Stealth X Studio, and they said, I've done a hard reset before completely starting over. I quit my job, went to therapy, and took 6 months to remember the basics of being a human. After that time, I slowly rejoined the world. The hard rest, the starting over, was freeing and paralyzing. I had no confidence anymore. I couldn't find it in myself to work on computers anymore, the only thing I was good at. Restarting was the best and hardest thing I've ever done. I've learned so much since then, become so much more than I was. I still wish I had never had to do a complete start over, but that is life sometimes. This video hit me right in the heart. Loved every second. I've watched it a few times. Oh, thanks. Mrs. EmSArcade, thank you for coming back in a style and doing content you want, as well as being open and vulnerable about it. You're wonderful. Glad to be a piece of your community. Oh my god, stop. First of all, it's Miss EmSArcade. I do not have a husband. Actually, you know what? I am a married woman. I'm married to a husband in Stardew. It counts. Yeah, restarting really can be one of the hardest things that you will do in your life. But you're right, yeah, that is life sometimes. Sometimes life just forces you to do a hard reset. You know, whether we want to or not. And more often than times, I think we don't want it. And that's probably the hardest part of starting over, is just knowing that you're doing it out of necessity, not out of want. Because generally you don't have to start over unless something's not working, right? And sometimes life is very humbling in that way, where it just slaps you in the face and says, nope, you gotta redo. Obviously, I don't know the details of what you went through, but it sounds like going to therapy was probably a really good decision for you. I personally think that everybody should go to therapy. I actually haven't personally been, but I do think that there's definitely some things that I could unpack with a therapist. I think everybody could unpack quite a few things with a therapist. Unfortunately, though, it is inaccessible to some folks, and that's too bad. And I hope that your experience with therapy was more of a positive one. And I'm glad that you were able to push through and maybe to find yourself again. I think that's an incredibly difficult part of starting over, is just figuring yourself out, finding things that align with who you are as a person. And I really hope that you found your confidence again too. At the end of the day, all we can really do is kind of hope to learn something from the things that we experience, the ups and the downs, and move forward in life with even greater knowledge than where we started. And I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that we're glad that you're part of the community too. There he is, Santa! Oh my god. Alright, let's do this Feast of the Winter Star and then we will finish up. I just feel like, you know, we're so close to it, we might as well. Oh my god, stop, you made me pancakes. You're the best husband ever. Yay! It's Christmas, everybody! What a great day to end on. I'm glad my husband is not with this hussy. I'm kidding. Don't come for me, Haley lovers. Whoa! Whoa. Oh my god! Okay, Willie, here's your gift. It's a sea cucumber. Listen, man, you don't need to tell me what you're gonna do with that. I have enough imagination to kind of know, but I really don't want to think about it, so... Ooh, I get to see who's... Oh, really? I was so excited to see who my secret Santa was. Oh, Demetrius. Oh, good. Did you give me like a microscope or something? Alright, okay, alright. I could be madder, alright? That's pretty good. I didn't know that you could bake things, Demetrius. Thank you. Wow. What a great old jolly old time. I'm leaving now. Goodbye. And we're back. Okay. And now it is time to go to bed. Oh yeah, do you like the fedora I put on my cat? I realized I didn't mention that this entire video. Oh, can I talk to him? You're sleeping. Wait, I thought you were gonna give me a good time when we got back. Ugh, I have been lied to. Betrayed. I guess my husband doesn't love me anymore, guys. Well, on that note, I think that's a good place to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for your comments. I really appreciated hearing from everybody, and not just, you know, the comments that spoke about the topic of the video, but also just all the very kind welcomes back, and everybody being like, Emily, you're back, we love you. It made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, so thank you guys so much for that. I do hope that you will check out the new video that is coming out this coming Saturday. Oh, okay, I'll give you guys a hint on what it is. So, the game is Superliminal. So, what topic could I possibly be discussing over a game that's all about manipulating objects to fit a certain perspective? I wonder. Leave a comment, let me know what you think it is. And if you get it correct, if you're the first one to get it correct, I should say, you will get a shout out in the next video. So, do your best or your worst. Well, I'm curious to see what you come up with. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!